The number of humans on our planet has grown tremendously. In 1800, 1 billion humans occupied our Earth, and this number has grown to over 8 billion on 15 November 2022. In 2057, an estimated 10 billion humans will inhabit the Earth. As a result of this growth, the primary greenhouse gas emitted by human activities, carbon dioxide (CO2), has grown as well. And these emissions and other emissions contribute to a growing environmental threat for the coming generations. The increased concentrations of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere cause the long-term increase of our Earth temperatures, also referred to as global warming. The atmosphere becomes warmer and the climate changes. Forests and oceans are polluted and destroyed. A large part of the emissions are caused by burning fossil fuels and farming. The generation of electricity is a large polluter, since in many countries electricity comes from burning coal and gas. The transformation to renewable energy, including solar, wind and hydrogen, is therefore essential. While the Earth's population grew, so did our mass consumption society. After the Second World War, we faced a huge global economic development with great technological improvement. Computers, laptops, airplanes, tablets, Internet of Things connected humans and equipment with each other all over the world. The hunger for plastics and steel grew as all our products had to be manufactured in ever-increasing volumes. As the economies developed, so did our needs for growth of wealth. Products become more complex and more different materials were combined. With the rise of products such as computers, tablets, smartphones, and complex surgical devices, more and more materials were included in devices. This was further supported by the introduction of single-use products, the so-called disposables, a product of absolute wealth. A growing world population needs more resources. Where people bought a television in the last century, which lasted for many, many years, people now buy a new smartphone or tablet almost every 18 months. In 2015, world leaders from all over the world gathered in Paris. There they made historic agreements to combat climate change. The leaders agreed to do everything to limit global warming to 2 degrees. And on the 12th of December 2015, an international treaty was signed by 196 parties in Paris to limit the global warming below 2 degrees Celsius and preferably below 1.5 degrees Celsius. The agreement has been in effect since 2016. The European Union has its climate law since 2020, and this law obliges all European countries to be climate neutral by 2050. The law also sets the intermediate target of reducing net greenhouse gas emissions by at least 55% by 2030 compared to 1990 levels. The European Union wants to achieve these goals with a large number of measures. The European Green Deal is the program to combat climate change, and with this Green Deal, Europe must reduce CO2 emissions by 55% in 2030 as set out in the climate law. In 2050, Europe must be the first climate-neutral continent. The European Green Deal aims to have these ambitions realized. In order to achieve our decarbonization objectives, emissions must be reduced in all sectors, from industry and energy to transport, farming, and healthcare. Climate change is a global threat, and can only be addressed by a global response. And there is a holistic and cross-sectoral approach. All relevant policy areas must contribute to the ultimate climate goal. Healthcare in many high-income countries are responsible for 6 to 7% of all CO2 emissions and for considerable amounts of waste. This makes healthcare one of the most polluting sectors. The Green Deal is an ambitious package of measures. To succeed in the setup, the transition to a circular economy is one of the key elements. The healthcare sector could reduce carbon emissions that occur in the global production chain of medical goods and pharmaceuticals by applying green procurement strategies. Suppliers of healthcare products will be increasingly confronted with questions from their customers. We need to develop future-proof green and circular strategies as an integral part of the organization's activities. It's not an alternative, but a necessity in a circular healthcare economy.